This video will cover the Reports tab on the Enterprise version. This is where you run your manual reports and your automated reports. First, I'll go over your manual reports. So we have manual reports for faculty and staff. We have students, parents and guardians, visitors, volunteers, and vendors. To run your manual report, all you need to do is click on one of these tabs here. So I'll go ahead and select faculty and staff. The first thing that you need to do is set up the date. So you will need to select either one of these dates here. These are the preset ones that we have in the dark blue, or you can customize your own by clicking on the calendar off to the side and selecting a date. For part 2, you need to select the report that you're trying to run. So these will be different depending on what report you're trying to run from the previous page. For faculty and staff, these are the specific ones we have. You can run things such as the faculty and staff, the weekly time card, a weekly timesheet, just the sign-in. You can even run reports for substitutes as well, and the absentee report. So I'll go ahead and select the FNS one, which stands for faculty and staff. And this is just going to be your basic sign-in and sign-out sheet for faculty and staff. For part 3, you need to select the report type. We have basic, detailed, and summary. Summary is going to give you the least amount of information. Detailed will give you the most amount of information on the report, and basic is kind of in between those two. It will usually get you what you need. For some reports, we do have the list option, which is just the list. For other reports, we don't have that option. So for this one, it is grayed out. We are not able to select it. I'll go ahead and click on the basic report for this one. If you are logged in as the district admin or the DA, you do need to select multiple schools or one school. So I'll go ahead and select one school here. Under part 4, we have customizable options and settings. So these will be different depending on what report you select to run in part 2 here. After you've customized your report, just go ahead and click on Next. You'll see 3 options here: display, view and print, and export. If you're exporting it, just make sure you select an export type at the bottom. I will just go ahead and display it for you. So this is what your basic report looks like for faculty and staff check-in and check-out. So it gives you the date, the time in, the time out, the hours, employee name, the job classification, the purpose. So I'll go ahead and click on back here. And then we'll go back to the Reports tab. So running these manual reports is going to be similar for every tab that you select. So for example, for students, again, we have the date that you need to set up, the report type, and as you can see, these are different than the faculty and staff ones. We also have part 3 here, basic, detailed, or summary, and then you need to select the school that you're running the report for. For visitors, there is something extra that we have. So the first part is the same. You need to select the date range here, and you need to select the report in part 2. So the SOR at the bottom is going to stand for Sexual Offender Report. The Sexual Offender Report will give you those Error 55s that you may have gotten at the school. It will give you their information, so you're able to see their driver's license information, their names, anything that was basically on the driver's license. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that one. And this does automatically go to the list form here, so I'll leave part 3 alone. And for part 4, I'm going to go ahead and select my school here at the bottom. Under that, we have, again, customizable options. I'm going to select the hit code 55 for this one specifically because I want to know what sexual offenders were at my school. I'm then going to click on continue. So I will just go ahead and click on display for you guys. So as you can see here, I have a possible sexual offender hit that I got today. And if they did scan their driver's license, a picture will appear here on the left-hand side. However, it was a manual entry. So we have here the address, the information of the possible sexual offender, and we also have the results on here, so you can actually click on these results. And I'm going to open this in a new tab. And this is the same link that you get in the email notifications for your possible sexual offenders. So as you can see here, we have that link again. And I'll go ahead and go back to this tab. So I'll go ahead and go back and click on reports again. Now, if you're the district admin, you can also run a monitor report, and this will tell you what faculty and staff was in during the current date. So you can select the job classifications here, and you can select a saved report if you already have one. I'm just going to select all of them here and click on continue. So you see here the employee attendance report at this specific school. So it'll tell you the specific location here. We have the different schools if you do have more than one school. We also have the name of the teacher or the employee or faculty and staff. We have the job classification and the last check-in. That way you're able to monitor where they last were. If you do have multiple schools and multiple areas for faculty and staff to check in, let's say they're a teacher at one school and then they're a teacher at another school as well, you can monitor where they last were. So I'm going to go ahead and click on back again. And then back to reports. To run your automated reports, this is going to be located under the Reports Plus tab at the bottom. This will allow you to run or set up a report to be sent to your email at a specific time and date. All you need to do is select one of these to run the report on. So for example, students. You'll need to click on Setup. And then you'll need to fill in the report information here. So for the first half of this, you will need to select the report type that you're running. So this is just like running that manual report. You'll need to select one of the options here. I'm going to select late and tardy combined with early dismissal. You'll then need to select the report date range. So we have today, yesterday, this week, last month, this month, and last month. I'll just go ahead and select today. For the third part, you'll need to select the report type. Again, we have basic, detailed, or summary, where summary gives you the least amount of information on the report. Detailed is going to give you the most, and basic is kind of in between those two. And then you need to name the stored report. Then you should put the report description. The next part is to put who created it. If you have more than one school in the district, please select the school that you're trying to set up the report for. You can also hold down Shift to select multiple schools. For the second half of the report setup, you will need to set up the frequency. So the first part of this is to select the start date for the saved report and select the end date. Then you must select the days of the week you would like to run the report. For the last part of this, you will need to set up how frequently you want to run this report. So you can run this once per day at a specific time, or you can run it every specific amount of hours. So I'll go ahead and select once per day here, and you'll need to use this drop down menu to select the time. So I'll do 3 p.m. and then you will click on next. The next part is going to be your report options. So these are your customizable options that you have that you use for your manual reports as well. You can report on just one person, you can sort by different things here, you can sort by a purpose, you can also report on excused or unexcused. Once you're done customizing this, go ahead and click on next. The next part of this is to set up your recipients for the report. You can either use this drop down menu here, or you can type in the name and email manually. The drop down menu here does give you a list of people that are in the district, so you can search for them here, or again you can put in their name. Once you've added the name, you will need to click on add. And once you're done adding the recipients, you can click on save. So this will go under your existing tab. If you don't see it, please make sure that you do have the correct school selected. So as you can see here, I selected my school here, and you can come back at any time under the existing tab and you can edit it by clicking the pencil and paper here next to the report, or you can delete it. You can also see when it was last ran and when it was created. And that concludes this video. To access additional videos, please visit us at schoolcheckin.com.